I think Rose Namajunas is amazing. Spotted a lot of talent on her when she was fighting in Invicta. Well before she was a well-known name, she really came out there to fight and finish people. I remember her flying arm bars and flying triangles, and just she just possessed something different, a different kind of ambition. You know, when you see that in a fighter really young, that she's willing to take those risks, you know, big calculated risks, you think she's got a fighting spirit. And now she's the UFC world champion, and it doesn't surprise me. I think Rose Namajunas is a breath of fresh air, to be honest. And I think not everybody's going to gravitate towards the trash-talking champions. If everybody turns to trash-talking, you know, it loses its appeal. And I think that Rose brings a sense of realness back to the sport. And there's a lot of people who are fans of that just because the way she presents herself is so authentic. And she's a very beautiful girl, but she shaved her head. She goes against the grain in a lot of different ways, and people like that. People do gravitate towards that. There is a fan base that's going to want that real authenticity. She's just who she is, and you know, she's a beautiful soul. You can see that when she talks about people just loving each other and not being so hateful. And then she spreads a good message. So I think there's room for her in the sport, and I don't think everybody has to have rivalries. Everybody has to talk trash. You know, she's going to be the one that goes against the grain, and I think she'll stand out for that. You know, I think that she's right where she belongs. And I think she'll be a dominant champion for a little while. I think someone that could possess some problems for her would be Claudia Gadelha, but I think that's a very competitive fight, and one that I'm hoping we get to see in the near future. Nicco Montaño hasn't been promoted very well. She's only had one fight technically in the UFC, and it was on a smaller card. So a lot of people just don't know who she is. But I'm telling you what, you don't want to count her out. I know that Valentina Shevchenko is a beast, and you know, rightly so. A lot of people think that she's going to become the world champion, but I think Nicco Montaño is a dark horse in all of this, and she was a dark horse on The Ultimate Fighter. She didn't come in with a very impressive record. Nobody really thought that she was going to do much, and she demolished the girls on that show. I mean, she really took it to them, and she's a very dangerous clinch with her elbows and her knees. She has some of the most brutal knees I've ever seen inside of the clinch, very well placed and very well timed. She also wrestles well. She's got a lot to her. She hits hard, you know, so I wouldn't count her out, that's for sure. I think that she might surprise a lot of people in that fight. I don't think it surprises her that she's going to be the underdog once again, but there's a lot of pressure this time. You know, she's defending her belt for the first time. It's going to be on a much larger platform against a very proven contender in Valentina Shevchenko. So there's a lot mentally that she hasn't had to deal with. So, I mean, that's where the question mark is. I think that Amanda could be the one to beat Cyborg. The reason that I say that is because I've been hit by Amanda. I've never been hit by Cyborg, and I'm sure she hits like a truck, but I can definitely attest to the power that Amanda has, and she's deceptively lengthy. She's very long. You think you're out of her range, and you're not. She is someone who could actually probably hurt Cyborg. Cyborg, I don't think, has ever really had to respect the power that another woman possesses standing across from her, or at least she never seems to have. With Amanda, that's different. She needs to respect the power of Amanda, because if she goes in there and walks in straight like she does most other girls, she could really get hurt. With that being said, you know, Amanda is a 135er, she's smaller. You know, Cyborg is the woman to beat. I think odds are still in Cyborg's favor, but Amanda does possess the ability to hurt and stop Cyborg. I think she has the ability to hurt and stop a lot of men. So with that being said, I don't think it would be a mistake on her part to go up to 145 and take on the biggest challenge that there is.